Welcome. The commencement ceremony for the Departments of Education and the Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Program of the School of Arts and Sciences will now be in order. Now I get to make my remarks. I'm David Hammer, and I am the chair of education in my last weeks of being chair of education. And I have one last time to give a talk on graduating. Thank you for being here. And right now in this moment, because it took some effort and it's kind of a strange moment. And thank you for being with us over this past year, which has been an amazing year. You are all going to graduate soon. I trust you'll continue to learn. But what jumps out to me is just how much we've all been learning over this year. More than any year I can remember, it's been kind of like a global curriculum. And what I'd like to do is review some of the lessons of that year and to offer some thoughts about our mission as educators and leaders. I'm going to take about 8 minutes, so bear with me. We've learned a whole lot about racism and its persistence in societal institutions, including this one. It's been in subtle forms of implicit bias, and it's been in blatant, explicit forms. Every day in the news, there's another tragic, heartbreaking story. It's not just racism. There's sexism and transphobia and ableism. There's so many forms of hatred and fear and dehumanization. We've learned about how it's systemic, the explicit connected to the implicit. I expect for those of you who are in the teacher preparation program, you've learned about how teachers tend to call on boys more than girls, or expect better answers from white students than from black students, or from students with TV standard accents. It doesn't have to be thought out and deliberate for many of us. I'm one. It's automatic. Part of our work, for that reason, for all of us, is to discipline our minds, to check for those biases and put in the effort to correct for them. That's in addition to the explicit work of teaching students about, and learners and leading organizations about biases, about persistent, striking inequalities, about the history of this country, of slavery, of the displacement and decimation of Native Americans. Tufts is on land taken from the Wampanoag and Massachusetts people. That's all been in the curriculum this year, not just yours, as students formally, but in the world. It's kind of interesting that it could be in the curriculum of any year, but it has been focused on this year more than others. What has been particular to this year is, as I wrote, as plain as the nose I can't see on your face. We've learned about viruses and proteins and mRNA and about contagion and exponential growth and statistics. We've learned about how science works as a pursuit of understanding and how it can happen in fits and starts. And I think there's some pretty awesome expertise. We have evidence of that there are now vaccines after a year. We've also learned about election politics and election strategies. We've had on display a myriad of ways people have of constructing truth and deciding what to believe. Sometimes you decide what to believe because of fundamental commitments, and those aren't open to debate. Sometimes it's by the authority of experts or of your cultural tradition. Sometimes it's by evidence or derivation or philosophical reasoning. Sometimes it's out of a need to be accepted by others, or it's what your gut tells you. It's just obvious. Those are all ways that we have of deciding what is true and what we'll believe. And I want to say they all have their place. I don't mean to say that science is the best of them. But we should think when we're posed a question, what kind of truth does this need? Science is a pretty good way to study vaccines, study viruses, and learn about how to cure viruses. I think that we've seen, but it's not so helpful for, say, deciding the value of human life and dignity. My hat is ridiculous is something I know just instinctively. My gut is also telling me, by the way, that I don't need to be wearing this mask, but I'm keeping it on. This is the central point I have for you today. Some ways of deciding what to believe need effort and humility. Humility because they require that we be open to thinking a different new thought, maybe to decide that we've been wrong. And effort to consider that new thought and to keep thinking it if we decide it's worthwhile when that thought isn't automatic. Maybe it's not what our friends or family or political party want us to think. That's how I understand the idea of a discipline, that it involves disciplining our minds to construct and assess truth in disciplined, attentive ways. So what kind of truth is it that we should be wearing masks or that we should get vaccinated? To me, those are mainly about evidence, maybe not entirely, but mainly about evidence, the scientific way of constructing truth. But I can sure see how others have experienced them as about politics, maybe as about obviousness. It just seems absurd that we're wearing masks right now, doesn't it? Part of you can empathize with that. So that brings me to my suggestion for our work as educators and leaders. I think we share a basic commitment to see other people as deserving of human consideration. It's a value of solidarity, and it's not open to debate, but it takes discipline, effort, and humility. It's an effort of empathy for others' feelings and for their reasoning. Empathy is not acceptance or validation of their reasoning. I want to be clear about that. But it acknowledges their humanity. I can sure understand how others have seen the choice of whether to wear a mask as about political affiliation, but that doesn't mean I defer to them on that. I think they should wear masks. And if I'm in an educator's relationship with them, if I am their leader, I want them to learn it. I want to teach them. And my empathy for their feelings and reasoning would be helpful in that mission. So this is my suggestion for all of us, that we need a fundamental commitment as educators to see others as human, even and maybe especially when that's not our gut reaction, or when it's not what our community around us would think, when it's at odds with others that we want to be affiliated with. Most specifically, we need to make the effort toward empathy. I say make the effort because it's very hard to do sometimes. It's not so hard, I think, for me to empathize with people who don't want to wear masks because part of me doesn't want to wear a mask. I have a harder time empathizing with other things. I have a hard time empathizing with my students when they're messing up a lesson plan, for example, or being disrespectful, or checking their phones while I'm talking. It's all right if you are. Sometimes I lapse in my ability for empathy for students and for colleagues and for others in the world. But I think the effort, the disciplined effort toward empathy, is essential for us as educators and leaders. Stay firm and model the commitment that whoever they are and whatever they are doing, they are human beings like us. They are like us. Me, if I'm honest, I have feelings and thought in moments that later I find uncomfortable or even repugnant. I mean, what was I thinking? Empathy for others connects with empathy for ourselves. So, last bits. This has been an amazing, difficult year. Destabilizing, frightening, challenging for the year it was and for what we can expect our years to come. I don't know about you, but for me, it can easily become overwhelming. What can I do? What can I contribute? So that's my suggestion for all of us as educators and leaders, that part of what we can do is have and show that commitment, effort, and humility. Try for empathy. I wish all of us the strength for that effort and the strength for recovering when we lapse. We shall now begin the presentation by department of candidates. We shall now begin the presentation by department candidates for their respective degrees. Candidates shall come to the stage to receive congratulations on behalf of the department faculty. I welcome Dr. Silas Pinto to the podium to read names.
Hi, folks. Is there a rule against making some noise? Yeah, we can applaud David. Why not? I know these are really interesting circumstances, and let's try to keep it celebratory still. So I'm going to read the script, and I believe you've already received the instructions on coming up to the stage. So we shall now recognize the graduates from the Department of Education for the degree of Doctorate of Philosophy. Please rise and proceed to the stage. On behalf of members of the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to certify that this candidate has completed all requirements for the degree of Doctorate of Philosophy and has demonstrated by preparation of a written dissertation and by oral examination the sound and mature scholarship required of recipients of this high degree. On behalf of the Faculty of School of Arts and Sciences, I request that this degree be awarded. The dissertation title is Invitations to Design in Elementary Engineering Learning Teams. Karen Miel, Doctor of Philosophy in Education. Take a bow. We shall now recognize the candidates for the third degree in Arts and Sciences, the degree of Education Specialist. Will the candidates please rise? Education Specialists, that would be all the school psychology students. And please proceed to the stage. We're doing great, folks. Members of the Board of Trustees, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the advanced degree in the Arts and Sciences, the degree of Educational Specialist in School Psychology. On behalf of the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences, I ask that these degrees be conferred. Jessica Arena, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Megan Butler, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Samantha A. De Armas, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Megan Lynn Miranda, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Catherine G. Swerk, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Camila S. Walker, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Congratulations, folks. We shall now recognize the graduates for the Master's degree of Arts and Sciences. Will the candidates please rise and proceed to the stage? That would be the folks in middle and high school, education, educational studies, diversity and inclusion, leadership, educational studies, museum education, STEM education. You can see that we have done it this way many times. Members of the Board of Trustees, I have the honor to present to you these candidates on behalf of the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences, and I ask that the respective degrees now be conferred. Caroline Elizabeth Casey, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Amy Deniger, Educational Studies, Master of Arts. Andrew C. Hurley, Educational Studies, Master of Arts. Sayara Husseini, Museum Education, Master of Arts. Khushbu Shehsagar, STEM Education, Masters of Science. Victor Baldemar Leos, STEM Education, Master of Science. Remy Nika, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Lindsay Amber Plummer, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Justina Zuckerman, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Amin Fahimi Moghadam, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. We shall now recognize the graduates for the first degree of Arts and Sciences. Will the candidates please rise and proceed to the stage? Members of the Board of Trustees, I have the honor to present to you these candidates. On behalf of the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences, I ask that the respective degrees now be conferred. Alex J. Lane, Interdisciplinary Studies. Michael John Grunnell O'Donovan, Education. We would now like to recognize the candidates for degrees who are learning remotely or unable to attend today's ceremony in person, but are watching the proceedings remotely. I will now read their names in alphabetical order. Students have been invited to upload videos of themselves so that their images can be part of the ceremony proceedings. Tessa M. Dean, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Hannah E. Long, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Melanie L. Meisner, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Amy Schlegel, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Shannon Sherwood, School Psychology Educational Specialist. And Amanda Zimmerman, School Psychology Educational Specialist. Rasil Alamed, Educational Studies Master of Arts. Benjamin Z. Alford, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Elizabeth R. Badamo, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Kristen M. Barrett, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Margot R. Bordney, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Eric A. Karsten, Museum Education, Master of Arts. Caroline C. Colamy, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. J.D. Conklin, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Brittany C. Cook, Museum Education, Master of Arts. Caitlin P. Forsyth, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Andre Xavier Herring, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Sarah G. Eiler, Middle and High School Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Ilaria Jacob, Art Education, Master of Arts. Sydney Q. Caboti, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Amanda Leith, Museum Education, Master of Arts. Evelyn R. Ocampo, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Holly E. Reiser, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Vanessa L. Tenaglia, Art Education, Master of Arts in Teaching. Kanayo Uchimefuna, Diversity and Inclusion Leadership, Master of Arts. Is there anyone in the audience who is present and did not have their name read? It's going to be a hard scan because there's a lot of people. As the recessional music begins, we would like to ask students to recess first, starting from the last row and working our way to the front of the auditorium. Faculty members will follow after the students. Please continue outside and remember to stay socially distanced even after you exit the building. Congratulations, folks. It's been a really hard year, but you're here. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate you and the work you're going to do in the field. Have a fantastic day.
One, two, three, four. T-U-F-T-S, T-U-F-T-S, hurrah!